Good morning, children. You are welcome to LSS class. Today, let us continue our chapter 11, the national movement. First phase already we have started last class. Now, this is second part. Let us see. Now, we have to part the factors became the growth of nationalism. We already finished. Now, let us see the second part. Invertible controversy. Now see invertible controversy. Invertible introduced by the Sir Ilbert. Invertible introduced by the Sir Ilbert, a law member during the reign the Lord Ripper, created and wrote in 1833. It had provision which gave Indian judges the power to try cases involving Europeans, right to try the cases for the involving the Europeans. Immediately, the whole European community started an agitation opposing the bill. Now, all the Europeans community started all together. They together against started agitation against the bill. These protests forced the government to withdraw the bill. To the Indians, it was a proof that they would never accept equality from the British government. It was the Ilbert Bill. Once more I will explain. Ilbert Bill introduced by Sir Ilbert. It is introduced by it was a law, a member during the reign of the Lord Ripper, created and wrote in 1833. It had a provision which gave Indian judges the power to try cases involving the Europeans. The first point is that what had the provision which gave Indian judges the power to try cases of Europeans involving Europeans. Immediately, the whole European community started an agitation opposing the bill. They did not allow. This protest forced the government to withdraw the bill. To the Indians, it was a proof that they would never expect equality from the British government. That was the Ilbert controversy. Now let us consider afterwards the many birth of the political associations. Many Indian people, political associations gathered together, came 1815 as to bring the people together and put pressure on the British. One of the first such association was the British Indian Associations that we have no need to study. Now let us go to the Indian National Congress. While Surendranath Banerjee was busy in organizing the Conference of Calcutta, a retired British official, Alan Octavian, who called for a meeting in Bombay. He wanted to create an association which would under the supervision of British and which would let the government know that the demands of the Indian people. He wanted to prevent another nationwide outbreak like the one that took place in 1857. The meeting convened by A.O.H. whom was held Gokuldas Tejpal Sciences College from 28-30 December 1885. This became the Indian National Congress. How the birth of the Indian National Congress. The meeting convened by A.O.H. who held the Gokuldas Tejpal Sciences College 28-30 December 1885. This became the National Congress. It was attended by the 72 delegates from all over the country. How many are there? 22 delegates from all over the country. They included such eminent leaders of Chandrapur Banerjee, the Bajaj Dinishore Baj, Kashnath, Biragangadhara, Gopal, Ganesh, Agarwal. There are many persons. It was that there were conduct that meeting. The Congress held the sessions in different parts of India once in a year. For the first few years, many Englishmen were also involved in these activities. In the early years, the main aims of Congress were Now, the National Congress, it was conducting the meeting under the AO4. It was held afterwards the national, but very important persons of Indian persons gathered there, 72 delegates. So, it was meant to bring together leaders from the all parts of the country to discuss problems related to the India. All of the India, to bring together all the members of the parts of the India to discuss problems related to the India. The second point was to form an action plan to get concessions from the British to take the action plan. Now it was they gathered together some group, started a group, National Congress. This is the called National Congress. Now it is the meetings and the plans and the associations going on. Now let us go to the other points. The moderate phase. The moderate phase. Moderate phase. The Congress was by the moderate leaders during its first 20 years. Congress was dominated by the moderate leaders during the first 20 years. Main important persons are the Sheoganj Banerjee, Sheoganj and Sheoganj Gopalakrishna Gokhale. They were the one small group. Surendranath Banerjee, Sheoganj, Farosha Mehta and Gopalakrishna Gokhale. Their four members were there. The important moderate leaders. They were moderate in their objectives and methods. Which are the three persons? They are moderate ways to change the first way of the condition to change after National Congress. Just change the ways they are. Sheoganj Banerjee, Farosha and Gopalakrishna Gokhale, the four members gathered together. They moderate some objectives and the methods of. They believe in constitutional methods and methods of persuasion, and regularly send petitions and regulations to the government asking for. They are written some questions and they are asking some petitions. Government asking for freedom of speech and expression. Freedom to speech and expressions. Explanation of welfare program. They need the explanation of the expansion welfare programs to give to some places to expand the. Then recruitment of Indians to high post in the administration. Therefore, the recruitment of the high post of the Indian people. More powers to the legislative councils and more Indian members in these councils. The Indian people should give the councillors, and holding the civil service examination in India, and not just only in England, but India to do the civil service examination. Change the economic policies of the government so as the benefits of Indian industries, to change the some economic policies, and stopping the drain of Indians' wealth to Britain, stopping the wealth of the Indians to Britain. All this they write some points to submit to the government. So, which are they? Who are they? Ask questions. Who are the moderate members? Who are they? Moderates. Then you can see the four members. They understand points. Then now let us go to the British attitude towards the Congress. In the beginning, the British established the coordinate relation with the Congress. Some British officials attended the Congress sessions and the active participated in the discussions. However, soon the British turned hostile towards it. They began to openly criticize the Congress. They realized that instead of becoming the means of containing the anger of masses, the Congress became the focus of Indian nationalism. Now let us go to the second point is radical phases. The radical phases. Very important. La, bal, bal. The processes are very important. The radical phases, la, bal, bal. The radical phases. Okay. The attitude of many Congress leaders changed when they saw ignorant attitude of the British. The attitude of the many Congress leaders changed. Before they were keeping silence. Now they are asking questions. They are some power to get the freedom to ask some more questions to the British government. Now some attitude of the Congress leaders changed when they saw ignorant attitude of the British. The new group of leaders were called radical nationalists or simply the radicals. They are calling the radical nationalists. They are calling some persons. They changed the face of the India. They are coming now. See the new group of leaders. They are called radicals or they are called radical nationalists. Okay, who are they? Where they were led by Lala Lajpat Rai, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, and Bipin Chandra Pal. There are shortly all of them related to the there are three persons going together: Lajpat Rai, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, and Bipin Chandra Pal. These are the three persons. Together they work together. These members were the very important persons and they were the very strong members of the company. Land by Pal, very strong members. They were properly called known as the Lal Bal Pal. Okay. These leaders felt that present ways of the Congress were ineffective. They were in favor of more radical objectives and methods. Okay, objectives and methods. They called for strong political actions such as strikes, boycotts, and mass demonstrations to spread awakening among the people and achieve political reforms. They are not sitting together, but they are doing some work. But they have started. They called the strong political actions such as strikes. They needed strikes and boycott to stop somewhere, and British institutions of the goods boycott, and mass demonstrations to spread awakening among the peoples and achieve political reforms. Bal Gangadhar Tilak called for the attainment of Swaraj. He said, he feel that Swaraj, my nation, my country, Swaraj is my birthright, and I shall have it. Like that, he said that Swaraj is my land. Gangadhar Tilak, Bal Gangadhar Tilak said that right place is the Swaraj is my birthright. So I shall have it. Like that, they together. They have very strong power, and they are doing the many strikes and boycotts and demonstrations and everything they are doing for the freedom of India, for freedom of the India. Now, this let us finish now. Let us partition of Bengal 1905. 95. Since Bengal province was active, the British decided to divide into two parts. That time, the British government decided to divide India, like Bengal and other parts of India. They divide the Bengal province, the politically most active, and British decided to divide into two parts, India and Bengal. Like that, they divided. It means not only for dividing, but also they can change the people, avoid the people. Like that, okay? Now, the Lord Curzon in 19 July 1905, the Viceroy Lord Curzon issued an order dividing the province of Bengal. Then the consisting of the present is West Bengal, which are the West Bengal, Odisha and Bangladesh. Now afterwards they changed the partition now, in which the majority of the population was Muslim. That time the majority of that place was Muslims. Was separated from the rest of Bengal, which had a high percentage of Hindus. The places had a high percentage of Hindus. The reason given for partition was that since Bengal was too big, Bengal was and also other point is Bengal was too big. That is why they are planning to divide. So which Lord Curzon 1905, the Viceroy Lord Curzon issued an order dividing the province of Bengal, in which the majority of the population was Muslim. That part there was a Muslim, and in the other part the Hindus. So the reason given the partition was since the Bengal was too big. It was important to divide. Could be administrative efficient. However, the true reason behind the partition was different. However, the true reason behind the partition was different. The national movement in Bengal was very strong. So the British government they need to when we divide the people, the strongness they can divide the strong. Then when the one group of people when they divide it is a strength will lose. Like that they divided. How the national movement Bengal was very strong. The partition was deliberated attempts to weaken and sowing seeds of disunity between Hindus and Muslims. That also another big point also, the disunity, seeds of the disunity among our Indian peoples. We are together, but the disunity among the Hindus and Muslims. The decision partition was widely criticized, and almost of the sections of the society rose in opposition. Demonstrations and public meetings were held throughout the Bengal. People of all communities tried sacred threads on each other's wrist and expressed their solidarity and all. The day of partition took effect was observed day of mourning, day of crying. No business was conducted in the Indian province. The national movement, instead weakening, became more organized, radical, and mass-based. Okay, like that. But what was it? They did not think it is happy of the people, but the people was mourning and crying because it is a strength. They have lost the strength. That is why the Indian people were. Now let us one more point. Swadish boycott. The partition of the Bengal is very important. Partition of the Bengal also very important. You have to study. Some points are there, and the main points is they divide the true reason behind the partition was different. The national movement in Bengal was national movement of Bengal was very strong. That is why the government decided to divide the divide the Bengal. So now the Swadesh and boycott. The partition of Bengal gave rise to two new methods of struggle and Swadeshi and boycott. Swadeshi literally means the one sole country. Swadeshi. It aimed at the popularizing goods in manufactured and India in these industries could prosper. So now this is the main important point we have to the partition of India, and we have studied today the National Congress, the moderate phases and British attitudes towards the Congress, the radical phases. Today we have the important Congress versus we studied then the Indian National Congress, how to start with the National Congress, then the moderate phase of the three persons. Cylinder managing nation professor these persons, and also the radical phase, nine-by-five relationship very strong. Then the partition of being. These are the very important. You can study on the next part. We can see next class. Okay, thank you very much.